Hey BrewTubers, happy Homebrew Wednesday. This is a little disclaimer. I'll start this video out. Hopefully I'll have enough battery to film it. Last night I tried to film it, but this is my new camera, my Nikon D3300. I finally decided to get a DSLR, and I looked up tonight, I searched on Google how to film yourself with this camera, because last night when I tried to film something, I was way out of focus. So hopefully this will be in focus, and again I'll have enough battery left to film it and put it on my computer to edit. So I have right here is a glass, half a glass or so of my Back in the Saddle IPA, which is now on tap, and now the Saison, which I'll talk about in a second, is carbonating. So I'm not gonna give a formal review of it yet, because I think it's still conditioning in the keg. Because I added, what I did with the dry hopping was towards the end of primary. For the last 4 or 5 days, of like the 12 days that I had in primary, I added 3 ounces, an ounce each of Azaka, Nuggetsilla, and Eldorado, which I used as the aroma and flavor additions in the boil. And then in the keg, I put another ounce of each again. So I think it's still dry hopping technically. It's been on in there for a little less than a week. And every time I take a little sample, like another half glass is a very full keg, so I don't mind taking samples. There's a little bit more complexity to the aroma. So before I give a full review, I want to let it condition for a little longer. But I am really liking this sample. So cheers and a happy Homebrew Wednesday. Okay, so moving along. So this is tasting good, they just said, and so with the Saison, when I first started taking gravity samples, it got down to about 1004, which means that it's a 7.1 or 7.2% Saison, which is a little higher than I wanted to. I wanted to be more like 6.5, but with overshooting my OG, my target OG by a few points, and fermenting it at room temperature, and letting the yeast do its thing with, Saison's like ferment warmer, I'm not surprised that it dried out that much. So then, when I took a couple of gravity samples, I tasted that it was very yeast forward, which it's supposed to be, but I wanted there's some wow factor, especially because I was using a new yeast blend, and it was tasting good, but there was no real wow factor. It tasted a little bit more complex than your typical Saison that's fermented with, let's say, 3711, which is the Y yeast French Saison. So I decided to ask my great sponsors at Yakima Valley Hops for some more Mandarina Bavaria, and Jeff sent it to me. I got it within a few days, and I was able to add the first half of the dry hops, which is 2.5 ounces, and after tasting I thought that would be enough because it's a Saison, it's not an IPA, but it didn't really bring enough of the Mandarina citrus as I wanted. So in the keg, what I did a little unique was last night, Tuesday night, I'm filming this on Wednesday night, I put in the usual another 2.5 ounces in one of my fine mesh hop bags with a shot glass to weigh it down and floss and everything. But I left it out for a full day over Wednesday at room temperature to really start the dry hopping process at a more warm temperature, which would extract the hop compounds faster. And then I put it tonight, Wednesday night, in the keezer, and I reset it to 30 psi, and it's gonna carb Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday night I'll turn it down to serving pressure, let it settle for Sunday, maybe Monday night. I'll take my first glass of it and see how it came out. But those are the 2 beers that are going on now, and I had to sadly dump about a gallon or so of the ESB to make room for the Saison, because the ESB had been on tap for quite a while, and although it's really good, I'm not really the type of person to say, hey, I call people up in the middle of, when I get home and say, oh, hey, do you want a little bit of ESB, because I didn't really have much patience to bottle so much of it, especially because it was a little over-carbonated, so it was very hard to bottle using my usual poor man's beer gun method. So I bottled up a couple bombers to share with people, and then I dumped the rest. You know, I definitely want to brew that recipe again, and because it was on tap for so long and I really enjoyed it while I had it, you know, I didn't regret it because now I have 2 new beers on tap instead of just 1. So, so that's what's going on. Other than that, the other big news that I will share now is that my wife and I and my daughter are moving to New Jersey at the end of August, beginning of September, for more space and a little more of a slow-paced lifestyle, and be closer to family. So I looked online for homebrew clubs in the area, and surprisingly enough, a half hour, 40 minutes away from my apartment is the famous Bobby from New Jersey's store, and even a little closer than that is where his homebrew club, or that he's famous for being a part of, called Wales. Is about a half-hour drive from where my apartment's going to be, and we're going to be getting a car because we have a parking spot. And so I'll be able to meet him in person, shop at his store when I don't go to Bitter and Esther's, because I'm still going to be working in Brooklyn for now, for the foreseeable future, and it's going to be really cool. So as that gets closer, of course, I'll update you, but that, you know, that's what's going on for now. So I'm not going to drag this on any longer. Those are my updates for now. I'm going to try to get one more brew in this apartment if I have time. Otherwise, I have a lot of bottling to do with my sours and stuff to share with you guys, and any other final major brewing adventures in New York City while I'm still officially living here. Because I will still try to be a part of the community as much as I can while I'm working in Brooklyn. Yeah, so cheers and happy homebrewing.